Hello, and welcome to Challenge Solutions. My name is Macy, and today we're going to be talking about Google Docs. Google Docs has become a widely used word processor, and this is especially true in schools because it allows students and teachers, or students and other students, to collaborate on documents in real time. That being said, I don't recommend using Docs if you are a blind or visually impaired student. The website is completely inaccessible, and the app is mediocre at best. If you're a blind student and you're being expected to collaborate on a document with your teachers or peers, you can use Pages or the iOS Notes app if the people you're collaborating with have access to Apple devices. If not, and they have access to Android devices, SimpleNote is my personal app of choice. SimpleNote allows you to create files much like the ones in the Apple Notes app, and you can share those and they can be copied and pasted into the Notes app of your choice. But if the rest of your class is using Chromebooks or you need to use Docs for some other reason, it is doable on iOS. So we're going to jump to a screen cap of my iPad so that you guys can see it in action with VoiceOver. Okay, so this is the home screen of my iPad. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the Docs application, and then I'm going to double tap on that to open it.
Docs. Double tap to open. Actions available. Docs. Menu. Button. Challenge Solutions. VitalChallengeSolutions@gmail.com.
So when I open the Docs application, you heard VoiceOver jump to the menu. That menu is at the top. It's the first item on the screen, and VoiceOver will always jump to that menu when opening Docs or returning to the main page of Docs. You also heard VoiceOver announce the account I'm using. That was the Challenge Solutions email address. This is important information to have because you're going to have different Google Docs associated with different email addresses. So the docs I'm viewing right now are the ones associated with my Challenge Solutions email address. If you aren't sure which account you're using, or if you need to switch accounts, you can do that in this menu that VoiceOver jumps to. We're going to look at that menu later though, and I will show you that there. So we're going to start by making a new document. When you're on this menu that VoiceOver jumps to, again the first item on the page, you can swipe right 2 times and find a Create New button. So we're going to do that now.
Google Docs heading.
That's the Google Docs heading.
Create New button.
And there's the Create New button. We're going to double tap on that to activate it.
New Document button.
Now in this menu, we have 2 options. New Document, which you just heard,
Choose Template button.
and Choose Template. Now, in my experience, most templates are not accessible. Google Docs does have some that work, but it's really a trial and error process, so if you desperately need a template, you can look there, but we're not going to cover that in this video. So I'm going to swipe left again to get back to that Create New Document button, and we're going to open that.
New Document button. New Document heading. File name, text field, is editing, untitled document selected.
So you heard New Document heading, that's just telling us where we are, and then VoiceOver jumped straight to a text field where we can input the title of our document. I'm using an external Bluetooth keyboard, so I'm just going to type this in, but you could use whatever typing method you prefer. We're just going to call this document Test.
T.
I'll swipe left once and then right again just so you can hear the name of this document.
Please enter file name, text field, is editing, test, character mode, insertion point at end.
Now you can hit enter here, but if you prefer, you can go ahead and swipe right until you hear the create button, and we can double tap on that, so that's what I'll do now.
Cancel button, create button. Test loaded, document contents.
So this opened a blank document. You heard it say test loaded, that's the name of our document, and that just means that the document is loaded and ready for us to type. This document is currently blank, so there isn't going to be any text following VoiceOver saying document contents. If there was text in this file, VoiceOver would read that. So when you create a document, it automatically opens in edit mode and jumps you straight to the text field where you can type. So we can go ahead and type right here. I'll show you that.
I
typed hi. Now, when using docs as a blind student, it can be very beneficial to have an external keyboard for typing, but also an external braille display, and I'll show you why now. So, I typed hi in this document, but if I press backspace and delete this text, you'll hear
Selection deleted. Selection deleted. Selection deleted.
you can't actually hear what is being deleted. It's very helpful to have a braille display so that you can read that. In addition, I'll show you one more thing, so I'm going to type
E.
I typed I like chocolate. So if you're using an external keyboard, you can use the standard word processing keystrokes, such as we can use left and right arrows to move by character. I'll show you that.
E. T. A. L. O. C. O. H. C. E.
Docs does not read the spaces, so just know that if you press an arrow key and you get silence or no feedback, that just means that you've hit space there. That's how you separate your words. But you can use your standard character keystroke. We can also use option left and right arrows to move by word.
Like. Cap I, like. Chocolate.
Or we can use the up and down arrows to move by line, so I'll hit enter and show you that.
New line. I like chocolate. New line.
You can also do all of these things using the VoiceOver rotor, but in my experience, it's much easier to have a physical keyboard there that you can use without having to repeatedly do the rotor gesture and swipe your screen. Now we're going to take a look at the options we have up at the top of our document. So we're going to four-finger tap at the top of the screen to go to the first item on this page.
Done button.
This is a done button. If you push this button, it basically means that you're finished editing. You'll enter reader mode, and we have a few different options there, but we're going to get to that later. So I'm going to swipe right.
Test heading.
That's the name of your file. I'll swipe right again.
Undo button. Undoes the last action.
And again.
Redo button. Redoes the last undone action. Insert button. Opens the insert dialog.
So we had undo and redo. Those are pretty self-explanatory. You could just double tap on those to apply them. And then we have our insert menu. So I'm going to show you that now. I'll double tap on it.
Insert. Dismiss menu button.
And I'll just swipe through what we have. So the first option is a dismiss button. If you've accidentally double tapped this, you can easily exit the menu, but I'll keep swiping right.
Insert heading.
So this is the insert heading. This just lets us know where we are. And the following will be options of different types of media that you could insert into this document. I'll just swipe through those.
Link button. Comment dimmed button.
Comment only works if you're collaborating on a document. We will look at that later.
Image button. Table button. Horizontal line button. Page break button. Page number button. Footnote button. Bookmark button. Table of contents button. Table of contents button.
So, as you heard, table of contents is the last item. You could just double tap on any of these options, and some of them have other menus that will open to let you specify exactly what you want, or of course in the picture option, you could choose from the photos on your device. I'm going to show you inserting a table because they actually do work in docs, but the way you insert them is a little weird, so we're going to swipe back up until we hear table.
Bookmark, footnote, page number, page break, horizontal line, table, button.
And we're going to double tap here.
Columns, 3, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
Now, as VoiceOver just said, we're in the columns adjuster. We can swipe up and down to adjust the value. So in this case, I want 2 columns in my table, and you heard it say that we already had 3, so I'm going to swipe down once to change that to 2.
2.
And then we'll swipe right.
Rows, 3, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
This is the number of rows in our table. I want our table to have 4 rows, so I will swipe up to change this 3 to 4.
4.
And then I'll swipe right.
Insert table, button.
Here we have an insert table button, so I'm going to click that.
2x4 table inserted. Document contents, I like chocolate.
As you hear, we get a lot of feedback. It tells us that the table was inserted, and it also reads our document contents. Now, when we insert a table, VoiceOver automatically jumps to the first cell in our table, so that'll be the one in the top left corner. I'm just going to number our cells because we don't actually have any data that we need to input into a table. So I'll start by numbering this cell 1.
1.
And to get to the next cell, I'll hit Tab.
Column 2.
As you heard, we switched from column 1 to column 2, so I'll go ahead and hit the number 2.
2.
And then I'll hit Tab again.
Row 2, column 1.
In this case, we switched row and column, so we're now in row 2, column 1. As you can hear, we do get really good feedback here, so I'm going to continue to fill our table in with numbers. This will be number 3.
3.
And Tab.
Column 2.
4.
4. Row 3, column 1. 5. Row 4.
As you can hear, we can arrow through our columns. I just hit the down arrow and ended up in row 4 rather than row 3. But if we hit it again,
Table exited.
we will exit our table. And if we want to re-enter our table, we can just hit the up arrow
2x4 table entered row 4, column 1.
and get back into it that way. We're not going to finish filling out this table, so I'm going to exit the table again.
Table exited. New line.
Next, we're going to look at the formatting menu. So I'm going to type some more text.
A E I Y V R T E D.
I wrote chocolate is my favorite food, and we're going to select this text using Shift and our arrow keys, and once we've selected it, we can format it. I'm going to use Shift, Option, left arrow to move backwards by word and select as I go.
Food selected. Favorite selected. My selected. Is selected. Chocolate selected.
Now that we have our text selected, I'll use a 4-finger tap at the top of the screen to go to the first item on this page, which again will be the Done button.
Done button.
And I'll swipe through until I find the formatting menu.
Test heading undo button. Redo button. Insert button. Format button. Opens the text formatting dialog.
And I'll double tap on that.
Format. Dismiss menu button.
Again, we get a nice dismiss button at the top. We're going to keep swiping past that.
Tab selected. Text tab 1 of 2. Paragraph tab 2 of 2.
So as you can hear, there are 2 tabs in this menu, a text tab and a paragraph tab. The text tab is currently selected, so we're going to swipe through the items on this and maybe apply some. So the first few options are simply items that you can swipe through and double tap to apply, so I'll let you hear those.
Bold off button.
So the first one is bold. I want this text to be bold because chocolate is very important to me, so I'll go ahead and double tap on that.
Bold applied to selection.
And we get some nice feedback telling us that our formatting change was applied to the selected text. I'll continue swiping right.
Italic off, but underline off, strike through off, superscript off, subscript off, but style normal text button.
So this style button is the first item that's a little bit different. This allows you to choose the style of your text. Say if you wanted it to be a heading level 1, 2, or 3, a title, or right now it's just normal text. You could just double tap on this and then swipe through until you found the style that you wanted. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and swipe past that.
Font Arial button.
The font menu works the same way. It is a little annoying that you cannot keyword search for your font. You do have to swipe through a menu, but they're in alphabetical order, so I will double tap this and let you hear the font menu.
Amatic SC button. Selected Arial but caveat but Comfort Top but Comic Sans MS Courier New but EB Government but Georgia button Impact button.
We're going to go with Impact, so I'll double tap on this to apply it.
Selected Impact.
Now I'll 4-finger tap at the top to get to a back button.
Back button. Back. Tab selected text tab 1 of 2.
This took us back to the top of the formatting menu, so I'll go ahead and swipe through everything we've just seen.
Bold italic under strike super subs style font size text color size 11 point adjust font impact button.
Okay, so here's our font menu. I'll swipe right.
Size 11 point adjustable. Swipe up or down with 1 finger to adjust the value.
Just like the rows and columns in the table options, we change our font size by swiping up and down. This also is a little annoying because we cannot use keyboard input here, but I'll go ahead and swipe up and change my font size to make it font size 18.
12 point, 13 point, 14 point, 15 point apply, 16 point, 17 point, 18 point applied to selection.
And if I were to swipe down, the font size would go down.
17 point, 16 point applied to selection.
So right now our font is 16 point. That should be big enough. I'll go ahead and swipe right again.
Text color, black, button.
Now, the color chooser is a little strange, so I'll go ahead and double tap on that and show you what that looks like.
Back, button.
I'll swipe right.
Text color, heading. Color family, gray, adjustable. Selects the color family, swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
So as you heard VoiceOver say, here we can adjust the color family. I'm going to swipe up and down through this to let you hear the options.
Color red berry applied, color red applied to selection, color orange applied to selection, color yellow applied to selection, color green applied to selection, color cyan applied to selection, color cornflower blue applied to selection, color blue applied to selection, color purple applied to selection, color magenta applied to selection. Magenta.
So as you heard, when we swipe up and down through these color families, they do get applied to our text. So our text is now magenta, but we do have more options than this. So I'll swipe down to go back.
Color purple applied to selection.
To purple. So say I want my text to be purple, but I want to get even more picky and choose the specific shade of purple. I'll actually swipe right.
Dark purple 3, button.
And we get options for the colors. You can swipe right through these and double tap on one once you want to apply it. So I'll show you that.
Dark purple 2, button. Dark purple 1, button.
Say I want to apply dark purple 1, I'll double tap on that.
Color dark purple 1 applied to selection.
And that's how the color chooser works. Now I'll four-finger tap near the top to go back to the formatting menu.
Back, button. Back. Tab, selected, text, tab, 1 of 2.
And at this point we're closer to the bottom of the menu than the top, so I'm going to four-finger tap at the bottom of the screen now to jump to the last item, and then we'll go up from there.
Clear formatting, button. Highlight color, text color, dark purple 1, button.
So we have our text color.
Highlight color, no color, button.
Our highlight color, which works in the same way.
Clear formatting, button.
And a clear formatting button if we needed to return to the original format of this text. Now we're going to look at the paragraph tab. So I'll tap once at the top of the screen with 4 fingers to jump to the first item.
Dismiss menu, button.
And we'll swipe right.
Tab, selected, text, tab, 1 of 2.
And again.
Paragraph, tab, 2 of 2.
And we'll double tap here.
Selected, paragraph, tab, 2 of 2.
Most of the options in this menu are pretty self-explanatory. You navigate this in the same way that you would the other menus in Docs, so I'm just going to swipe through and let you hear the options that are in here.
Left align text, on. Center align text, off, button.
Center this text by double tapping.
Center alignment applied. Right align text, off. Justify text, off. Decrease indent, off. Increase indent, off. Toggle numbered list, off. Order bulleted styles, button. Toggle bulleted list, off. List bulleted styles, button. Line spacing, 1.15, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
And you hear everything in here has instructions on how to use it with VoiceOver and works just like the other menus that we've looked at. So we're going to double tap near the top of the screen to dismiss this menu.
Dismiss menu, button. Document contents, I like chocolate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chocolate is my favorite food.
There is one more menu that we want to look at in this document, so I'm going to four-finger tap near the top of the screen and return to that Done button, and then I will continue swiping right from there.
Done, button, test, heading, undo, button, redo, button, insert, button, format, button, more actions, button. Show information about this item, including sharing settings.
This is the More Actions button. This is a pretty straightforward menu, but I want to double tap it and show you what's in here.
More actions, dismiss menu, button. File name, test, button. Edits the file name. Print layout, off, button. Suggest changes, off, button. Document outline, button. Find and replace, button. Explore, button. Word count, button. Page setup, button. Selection control, button. Details, button. Share and export, button. Help and feedback, button. Available offline, on, button. Star file, off, button. Star file, off, button. Double tap to toggle value.
And that is everything in this menu. I just wanted to let you know that was here and swipe through the options. Now we'll four-finger tap near the top of the screen to get to the Dismiss button, and then we'll double tap on that.
Dismiss menu, button. Document contents, I like chocolate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chocolate is my favorite food.
Okay, so we're finished editing this document. I'm going to four-finger tap near the top again to get to that Done button, and this time we're going to press that.
Done, button. Done. Back, button.
So we are now in reader mode rather than edit mode, but we're going to look at this in another document. So I'm going to go ahead and double tap on the Close button and open another document with the collaborators so that we can look at those options.
Menu button. Shows the menu to navigate to other file views, to change user settings, and to switch users.
Now, as you hear, VoiceOver jumps us back to that menu, but we're going to keep swiping through until we find the document that we want to open.
Google Docs. Create new button. Search button. Open file picker. Currently sorted by list button. Test Google Docs. Available offline. August 29th, 2020 button.
That's the file that we just made. I will show you one more menu for these files. So if I swipe right again,
Actions menu button. Opens a menu for performing actions on this file.
we'll double tap this menu and look in here.
Save as Word. Docs button.
I'll just swipe through these options to let you hear them.
Share button. Add to start off. Available offline on. Link sharing off. Copy link button. Send a copy button. Rename button. Move button. Add shortcut to drive button. Make a copy button. Details and activity button. Print button. Remove button.
So remove is the last item in this menu. I just wanted to let you hear that, and I'll also show you what happens when we apply these. So since this was just a test document, we're going to go ahead and remove it by double tapping this button.
Alert. Remove file. Heading.
We'll swipe right.
Test will be moved to the trash.
We'll swipe right again,
Cancel button.
and again,
Remove button.
and we'll double tap here.
Test removed button. Double tap to dismiss.
As you can hear, we get a remove button, and we can double tap to dismiss that. If we swipe right,
Undo button.
we have an undo button. So if you have done anything by accident, this is how you can undo it. It comes up as soon as you perform this action. We'll swipe left again though,
Test removed button. Double tap to dismiss.
and we'll double tap on this to dismiss it because we do want to remove this document.
Test removed. Currently sorted by last opened by me. Descending order button.
Now we're going to swipe right until we find another document that we want to open.
List button. Collaborating in Docs. Google Docs. Shared. Available offline. August 29th, 2020 button.
Here it is. You just heard all the information about this document. I'm going to double tap to open it.
Collaborating in Docs loaded.
So Collaborating Docs was the name of this file, and since we are opening this file rather than creating it, we actually open it in reader mode rather than edit mode. So in this case, we cannot edit the document, but we do have some different options near the top of the screen that I'm going to show you. So I'll swipe right through those.
Collaborating in Docs. Heading.
That's the name of the document.
Collaborators button.
Here we have the Collaborators button. Now, in this case, I'm collaborating with myself. This is the Challenge Solutions email, collaborating with my personal email, but I'm going to double tap and show you this menu so that if you do have collaborators, you will know what it looks like.
Add people or groups. Add people or groups. Text field is editing. Character mode. Insertion point at start.
So VoiceOver jumps straight to a text field where we could type the email address of anyone that we wanted to add to this document. I'll go ahead and swipe right because we're not adding anyone now.
Who has access? 2 people button.
And this button will show us who has access. So if we were to double tap this, we would see the name and email address of the collaborators in this document. We're not going to do that because my personal email address is here, but I wanted to show you this menu. I'm going to go ahead and four-finger tap at the top to find the close button and double tap on that.
Close button. Back button. Closes the document.
Now I'm going to show you the comments menu. So I'll go ahead and swipe right again,
Collaborating in Docs. Heading.
and again,
Collaborators button.
and one more time.
Comments button. Opens the comments dialog.
This will show me all the comments in this document.
Comments. Heading.
So we're going to swipe right,
Chocolate is the best food. Challenge Solutions. August 15th. Cheese is better. Button. Shows all comments in the discussion.
So what you just heard was Challenge Solutions, the email address which left the comment, chocolate is the best food, the text that the comment is about, and cheese is better, which was the comment itself. Then you have the date and some other information. If I double tap on this,
Selected text. Chocolate is the best food. Challenge Solutions. August 15th, 2020 at 3:37 p.m. Cheese is better.
we have a few more options. So we can go ahead and swipe right,
More actions. Button. Dismiss pop-up. Double tap to dismiss the pop-up window.
I double tapped on that, and now I'll swipe.
Edit. Button. Delete. Button. Delete. Button.
So we could edit or delete the comment.
Edit. Dismiss pop-up. Dismiss pop-up. Selected text. Chocolate is the best food. Challenge solutions. August 15th, 2020 at 3:37 p.m. Cheese is better.
Now we'll go ahead and keep swiping right.
More actions. Button. Resolve. Button. Resolves the discussion.
We could resolve the comment
Reply. Button.
or reply to the comment.
1 of 1. Previous discussion. Dim. Next discussion. Dimmed. Button.
And since this is the only comment on this document, we don't have a previous or next discussion, but those buttons would go to those. Now I'll four-finger tap at the top, and we're going to look at what this comment looks like in the document and how to leave a comment.
Back. Button. Back. Comments. Heading.
Now, for some reason, the comments section does not have a dismiss button, so what we're going to need to do is tap anywhere near the left side of your screen, and you should get the option to dismiss that pop-up.
Dismiss pop-up. Double tap to dismiss pop-up window.
And we'll double tap to dismiss this.
Back. Button. Closes the document.
So now we're going to look at editing this document and leaving a comment. As I mentioned earlier, we are currently in reader mode, so we aren't editing this document. To edit the document, we're going to four-finger tap near the bottom of the screen to jump to an edit button. This is the last item, so it should be the first thing we hear when we four-finger tap at the bottom.
Edit. Button.
Now, if we swiped left from here, we would hear the document contents.
Document contents. Double tap to edit. Chocolate is the best food.
And VoiceOver says that we can double tap to edit this, but we cannot. So I'm going to swipe right again to this edit button, and we'll double tap on that.
Edit. Button. Document contents. Chocolate is the best food.
So now we're in the document. I'm going to use my up arrow so that you can hear the selected text with the comment and VoiceOver's alert that there is a comment on this text.
Comment start. Chocolate is the best food. Comment end.
As you heard, it said comment start, read the text, and then comment end. So this was the text that was selected. Now I'm going to write some more text, and we'll leave a comment on our own text.
New line.
So I hit the down arrow, and I'll hit enter one more time.
New line. A E E D E E E E T space great.
I wrote chocolate and cheese are equally great. I'll let you hear it.
New line. Chocolate and cheese are equally great.
And then I'll use the up arrow to go back to that blank line.
New line.
And then shift option right arrow to select the text that we just wrote word by word.
And selected. Cheese selected are selected. Equally select great selected.
Now, to leave a comment on this text, we're going to need to go back to the insert menu. So I'll four-finger tap at the top of the screen.
Done. Button.
And we'll swipe to that.
Collaborating and undo button. Redo button. Insert button. Opens the insert dialog.
And we'll double tap here.
Insert. Dismiss menu button.
Now we'll swipe to the comment button.
Insert. Link button. Comment button.
And double tap.
Comment. Comment. Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
Now, even though VoiceOver says double tap to edit, we are already editing this text field. So I'm going to go ahead and type a comment here.
T-R question mark better. No autocomplete options.
Better question mark. This is something you could write if someone did find an error in your work. So now we'll swipe left.
Save button.
And there's a save button. We'll double tap on that.
Save. Back button. Closes the document.
And we've now left that comment. I will show you that in the text itself.
Edit button.
I'll four-finger tap to find the edit button and then double tap.
Document contents. Chocolate is the best food. Chocolate and cheese are equally great.
And when I use the arrows,
Comment start. Chocolate and cheese are equally great. Comment and unselected.
we have proof that we have left that comment. So now I'm going to exit this document, and finally we'll get to the menu at the top of the screen.
Done button. Done. Back button. Menu button. Shows the menu to navigate to other file views, to change user settings, and to switch users.
So I hit done to stop editing, back to exit the document, and now we're on the main docs page again, and VoiceOver jumped us straight to the menu at the top of the screen. Again, if VoiceOver jumps you somewhere else, or you need help finding this menu, you can four-finger tap near the top of your screen, and it should be the item that VoiceOver lands on. So we're going to double tap on this menu.
Sign in as Challenge Solutions, vitalchallengesolutions@gmail.com, button. Expands account menu.
So, this announced the account that we were signed into again, and if we were to double tap on this, I would get options to use other accounts that I'm signed into or sign into a new Gmail account. I'll swipe right, and you'll hear different sections of files that you can view.
Selected, recent, button.
So these are the files that were recently opened, and I'll continue swiping.
Starred, button. Shared with me, button. Offline, button. Trash, button. Google Drive, button. Settings, button. Help and feedback, button. Privacy policy, button. Terms of service, button. Close menu, button.
So that was everything in this menu. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to show it to you so that you knew it was there. I'll go ahead and double tap on this close button to close the menu.
Menu, button. Shows the menu to navigate to other file views, to change user settings, and to switch users.
So that wraps up our tutorial on Google Docs. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please leave a like. That helps the YouTube algorithm to know that we exist. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, you can leave us a comment in the comment section below, and we do read those. Or you can contact us via the contact form at challengesolutions.org. Keep an eye out for more blog posts, podcasts, and YouTube videos from Challenge Solutions. And thank you for watching. We hope to see you in the next video.